Welcome. It is the new year officially. It is 2022, and I am so excited to give this new podcast. Probably won't be as long as last week's. I hope that all of you had a wonderful New Year's celebration with whatever you did. Having Chinese food, going out to this restaurant, whatever you did. It is 2 days already, 3 days into the new year when this is premiering. And it's Monday. So I just want to talk about a couple of things before getting into this. Is that I may discuss things here and there, but I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to discuss this, oh, I have to discuss that. No. Because putting that rule on yourself, you shouldn't, tell yourself, oh, I have to say this, because that is like, you have to do it, you have to be consistent about it, rips away the fun and joy about it. Nope. So that's just what I can tell you. You can watch these videos anytime. They do not apply to the exact week. Even though there's something at the end that I do that does, you can watch this really anytime. So no need to feel GOMO, guilt of missing out. Say if you were watching this, I don't know, years and years, or a year, or maybe spring of this year, and you're tuning into this. You can watch these any time. Doesn't matter. I will say, though, that it will be seasonal, so it does make sense to watch a winter episode, I don't know, in the springtime, when everything's bursting and the flowers are coming out and the birds are singing and the weather's getting warmer and it's moving closer to summertime, school's getting out, things like that. And there's no law that says, oh, you have to, see a winter podcast in the wintertime. No. I mean, I'm sure that people sing Christmas songs, not during the time of it. And besides, stores start selling their Christmas stuff to the beginning of 1 month before the actual holiday, and pretty soon Valentine's things are going to be coming out when this premieres. Just know that. I may say things which apply to a certain time, the time when this does come out. However, that does not mean that this only applies to a certain time. Just know that. I just want you to be aware. Also, know that I have several other channels that I have initiated into being. I have an astrology channel, which I go over weekly videos and other aspects as well. Currently, and I say that because I don't know, things might change, because nothing stays consistent all the time. You can't expect something to stay consistent. Things are going to change. You're going to change your feelings, your thoughts, your beliefs. Just be open to it and expect it. And don't restrict it just because, oh, I've started on this path, I have to keep going. No. People start channels that last for years and years, and they change things. They, do things differently. A lot of them do that. Just be open to it. It's variety, the spice of life. Come on. So so just think of it just as a variety. Oh, this is different than this was, but maybe this is better, or this is different and good in this way, not as opposed to, but that was different and good in that way. Oh, I saw things differently at the time, and don't get rid of that. Don't delete it, don't, disregard it just because it's how you felt at the time, not how you feel now. No, 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 no. Because life goes on, you live and you learn. It represents you changing your thoughts, beliefs, feelings, etc. Don't get rid of that. Don't. No need to feel that. So, I have several channels. I just want to say that I am not a professional doctor. I just want to say that right now. However, I'd like to think that I am, an authority, and I do know a lot, and I have, learned a lot over several years, and I see no reason why not to present that. Why not? It's a great opportunity, gives me something to, do weekly, and gets into that routine. I created niche channels because I was looking for a way to structure things that I would go back to and plans that I would start, and it would be consistent, it would have structure, because I just want to take advantage of so many things, and I don't want to feel overwhelmed like I have to do this and that. Putting a structure to it is really, really important, making your boundaries clear, and, opening up at the same time. So balancing drawing your boundaries and being open as well. I think that these channels, including this one, is a good balance for that. And I have a little something in the About page for my astrology channel, which talks about that. So, I'm merely there to share the information, talk about the astrological information, and bring my own things into it. Maybe say, oh, you can do this. Maybe bring other things into it. So just doing it for the humble joy and interest of, making an astrology video and seeing it up there and watching it. There's nothing really wrong with that. And I am owning it. I am being original, I am being official, and I'm owning it, while not diminishing my power and what I can do by crouching in, giving myself an excuse, whatever, less than, as opposed to others. So, anyway, so that was a kind of a lengthy introduction. However, I'm going to get into it now. So, the quote for the year, let's just say the quote for the year, the quote for this week is by Alfred Lord Tennyson. And it goes something like this. Hope smiles from the threshold of the year to come, whispering, whispering. It will be happier. In case I mentioned that quote before, this is where I said, let it be what it is. This is perfectly imperfect. I'm adding something else because, I don't know. So, yeah, that's the beauty of it. It's not the same, so what? So what? So it's lightening up and just being open, just kind of rolling with it, going with it. That kind of thing. And I think that can be a beauty of this podcast, is it's more of an open thing, bringing my own things into it, saying this, saying that, describing this, of what I think, feel, believe, understand about it, and all of that. So, editing myself now. The quote by T.S. Eliot for quartets. For last year's words belong to last year's language, and next year's words await another voice. Next year's words await another voice. Last year, the past is in the past. That was that old narrative, old story. This is the new year. This is a new vision and a new, voice, essentially. A new, just coming in fresh with different things to say, believe, all that. So yeah, I'll just kind of let that, circulate, in the air. So, new voice, fresh new here. So, New Year's Day. We just had New Year's Day. I'm going to read it to you. The rain this morning falls on the last of the snow, and will wash it away. I can smell the grass again, and the torn leaves being eased down into the mud. The few loves I've been allowed to keep are still sleeping on the West Coast, here in Virginia. I walk across the fields with only a few young cows for company, big boned and shy. They were the girls I remember from junior high, who never spoke, who kept their heads lowered and their arms crossed against their new breasts. Those girls are nearly 40 now. Like me, they must sometimes stand at a window late at night, looking out on a silent backyard at one, resting one chair in the sheer walls of other people's houses. They must lie down some afternoons and cry hard for whoever used to make them happiest, and wonder how their lives have carried them this far without ever once explaining anything. I don't know why I'm walking out here, why my coat darkening and my boots sinking in, coming up with a mild suckling sound. I like to hear. I don't care where those girls are now. Whatever they've made of it, they can have. Today I want to resolve nothing. I only want to walk a little longer in the cold, blessing of the rain, and lift my face to it. So yeah, being in present with this New Year's Day, yeah. So that would be the poem. And I do want to remind you, Cooking Channel videos every single day come out, for this year at least. I mean, I can say that now. I don't know how things are going to be in the future. What I can say now, what I can say when this is coming out, is that videos every day will be coming out. Little tidbits, little tips and tricks and food trivias and things that you can really watch, and it can tie you over before eventually, and maybe potential cooking recipe videos. So tune in. So we have that. Then today's short story is called A Horse That Wears Snowshoes, because we're into winter officially. So it says, Mr. Brown had to go to his camp at Pine Tree Valley, which was in the midst of the mountains in California. His men were cutting down the giant trees and piling them in readiness for the spring freshet or floods of the river when the snow is melted. Then they would slide them down the mountain sides to the little villages below. There was a great deal of snow on the mountains, and Mr. Brown knew it would be hard work climbing to the camp, but Lady Grey was strong and used to it. Lady Grey was Mr. Brown's pet horse and carried him everywhere. She was always happy when her master was in the saddle. But today the snow was very deep, and soon Mr. Brown had to get off, throw away the saddle, and lead her. They had to stop very often and lean against the trees and rocks for support, while they rested and regained their breath. In places the snow was so deep and soft that they sank above their knees. Late in the afternoon, they reached the camp nearly exhausted, and it was several days before they were able to return. The snow was still deep, and Mr. Brown knew that he must go back on snowshoes, but he was afraid Lady Grey would have to be left behind. Finally, one of the men suggested making her some snowshoes. They cut 4 round pieces of board, 12 inches across, and fastened them on with rope. Lady Grey seemed to understand what they were for and tried very hard to walk in them. She was very awkward at first and could hardly stand up, but by practicing a little every day, she was soon able to manage nicely. So Mr. Brown and Lady Grey both returned on snowshoes, and how everyone did laugh when they saw them. But Lady Grey never could have done it if she had not tried. So this is what it takes to get out of that snow, get out of that place that you're in with the snow, just, getting on you being stuck in it, making an effort with the help of others, with the help of these people giving her the snowshoes so that she could get out of this. And make it home safely and everything. So it's believing, having faith that things are going to work out. Because they might. They very well might. And a lot of times, hopefully most times, they do. So, shutting the wine, since it's starting to get a little bit dark. Candle. Well, there it is. Okay. So now, this week, the week of January 3rd, I want to do a couple things this week when it comes to cards, and all of them are there. So, now, I'm going to start. So what are we all going to experience in the month of going all over now? So, nothing wrong. So the month of January 2022. Just one more shuffle. Okay, so this way. The card is Chaos and Conflict in reverse, in protection. So, what that says is this. So, it says this is an advantaged moment to restore order and recognize the opportunity for negotiation. Even in the seeming chaos, there is a kind of divine order, a complete resorting of elements. This is powerful. If your intention is to find the best solution for the highest good of all, there is positive news. The timing is perfect. Things are already stirred up, so don't be afraid to jump into the mix. You'll discover everything you need to know about how the situation affects the long term. Be present in the eye of the chaos. The moment is valuable. Don't waste it. So, time to make peace. And time to be in the now about making peace. So, just thought that I would read to you that little bit of guidance for that. Now for this week. Okay, the same thing that we got for Christmas time. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1. Starting afresh in numerology. So, regeneration. Card number 46, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46 here. Okay. So it says, endings come in many forms. Now is the time to stop holding on to what must die, so that something better can take its place. Nature's cycles include disease, decay, death, and regeneration. Let whatever is not working in your life die away. Don't be afraid to face the facts. There is no need to struggle or grieve. Whatever your query, let it go. You're about to be reborn. Letting go. Letting go of what's old and starting new. It's a great time, because we're coming into the new year. People are setting their goals for what they want and looking at what happened in 2021, the things that they don't want, and putting into action this year the things that people do want. And the new moon, January 2nd, all about, reflecting on really what it is that we want and our goals. So, thank you for tuning in. Have a wonderful first official week of 2022. It's very, very exciting. Always, be safe, be healthy, be kind. Have a wonderful week. Indulge. It's winter time. If you're getting back to work, I hope that goes well for a lot of you. Definitely this year, spend time with family, because 2022 reduces down to a 6, which is all about relationships and connecting with others. And I wish you all a wonderful week, very happy week, and thank you for tuning in. Bye for now.